Morning, students. It is Sunday, January the 12th, and it's Ryan Malumbi's birthday. Yesterday was Lisa Shanahan's birthday, so happy birthday, January people. And I just wanted to give you some information about your assignments, okay, so that um, you will have some understanding before the due dates. Talking to many students yesterday, I found that they just received the book or still hadn't received the book, which is, a little troubling. So I think it might be important that you start ordering the books way in the future before the course starts, because this kind of puts you at a disadvantage when you're trying to do the assignments, especially for something like the brain, because that book is, I think it's a little harder to get than normal. So wanted to make sure that you were able to do so. Now, the graphic organizer is due today about the brain, the different parts of the brain and the functions of the brain. Most interesting research that I have been working on lately is the nutrition and the brain. Now, it's kind of interesting. There is no one really out there focusing on nutrition and the brain. And Dr. David Perlmutter, who is a neurosurgeon, has a new book out, and he's talking about the what is it he's calling about the bread brain. I think that's the term he uses. And the fact that so many people are gluten intolerant and that the brain isn't functioning as well as it could be if you weren't ingesting gluten. Okay, and many other foods that are very rich in minerals and calciums for the brain to make it function better. So I think we really need to start looking at what we eat, the brain, and what we eat. And then there's another bit of research I've been doing, which is a book that one of my favorite people gave me about how the brain changes when we have good relationships, when we are in love, or when we have happy, positive things going on in our life. So that is another aspect of how our brain, responds to different stimuli, different settings, and so forth. So interesting topic, this brain, and I am enjoying your responses. Having worked with my own children and children in my classes over the years that were teenagers, I can really relate to the teenage brain. It seems that teenagers really don't wake up until about 9:30, but yet our schools are saying, oh yes, we're going to have 0 periods, and we expect them to go into those 6:30 a.m. periods ready to learn and engage and be powerful thinkers. Well, unfortunately, they got to wait 3 hours for their brain to wake up. Maybe they would be learning better if they started school at 10 or 10:30 and went until 4 in the afternoon, okay? And then they'd be fully engaged. Something to think about. Anyway, I'm looking forward to more of your interaction in the Blackboard discussion. And I really have been impressed with your writing. And so keep up the good work. This is an exciting time to be in education. And just think, you can provide some expertise to your colleagues at your work sites about the brain. How does the brain really function? I think it's the most important organ in our body. When you think about it, the brain is fully developed at age 25, but what happens between 25 and, say, 75? Do we lose parts of the brain? They're just inactive. the other studies that I've done on David Perlmutter indicate that people who have movement disorders like Parkinson's, tremors, things like that, if they are taken off a gluten diet and they go on a gluten-free diet and lots of fruits and vegetables, they seem to do much better. Not the high level of shaking and tremors that they had before. So I think the nutrition has a lot to do with pretty much everything we do. And I guess that old adage, we are what we eat, right? Well, anyway, I hope you have a wonderful week and really enjoy this exploration of the brain. Now, a week from Monday is the 20th, which I believe is a holiday for you. So I may give you cut you a little slack so you can have just a tiny break. Nothing to post on that Monday, January 20th. All right, God's blessings. Have a wonderful week.